Hello YouTube friends, Ben Ochart here. How you doing? It's about 104 degrees and instead of laying in a pool or inside of an air-conditioned room, what am I doing? I'm outside looking at fish stores. So why? Because I think I'm a little bit crazy. So today I'm visiting CK Fish World, a place I paid a visit to a while back. You can see it here. CK Fish World. Let's take a look inside of CK Fish World. Let's take a look at what's going on in there and take a look at their stock, their supplies, and let's see how things are going there in light of everything that's been going on around here. Let's go on and take a look. I think it's about 107 degrees now. I sure hope that CK has an air conditioner on in there. Let's go inside and take a look. You know, this is the same tank I believe they had in the front last time. Something you'll see at CK are beautiful plantscapes, you know, between the use of rocks and wood. I noticed that last time I was here. And these are the two tanks that greet you when you come in. As you can see, they're pretty impressive. This one was pretty amazing with that sort of new style of having things extend from the tank. And pretty interesting. Looks like they just got a bunch of new stock in. This is another large, I would suspect at least 300-gallon or more tank that they have just behind the cash register right when you come in. As you can see, it's just a beautiful community tank full of a beautiful variety of relatively peaceful fish. And just to the right, a collection of angels. They have a good selection of products. Here you see some of the meds, including one of my favorites, which is the Cordon's Ick Attack, which I have been successful in using several times. Very gentle on fish like loaches, fish that are referred to as scaleless. A very common type of food selection. I didn't see anything really unusual. They had a limited selection of Sarah foods. They had some of the cobalt products, but they didn't have the cobalt pellets that I like to use with my cichlids, the probiotic pellets. I'll just order those, I guess, from my friends at Super Cichlids. And they had some of the Fluval products, the bug bites, and a lot of Hikari. And while I was here, I went ahead and picked up, that's why that's floating around there, I picked up some of the Algae Wafers for an albino pleco that I'm trying to fatten up, who was having trouble getting to the food. And I put him in the 30 gallons so he can get nice and plump. They have a good selection of filters, including some of your larger hang-on back and canisters. They had some of the size products I noticed. Here's the newer version of the Marineland dual bio wheel that I have currently on the 60-gallon, and here you see the size product. They make very high quality. I believe they're assembled in Italy. They have some of the Aqua Top, which is the sort of the UL approved SunSun version, as well as a lot of filter cartridges and inserts. Their tanks, which is where I want to go to the most, look at the fish. Very kind of an old school tank setup, using a lot of wood, and the tanks appear to be acrylic. Very nice, sort of a young koi selection. Look at this guy here with the flowing tail. Very, very pretty. Some red Severums. And these guys I thought were just beautiful. I think they're green terrors, and just love the markings on them. I believe that's a leaf fish. Good size. But I love the markings on these fish. I believe these might be South American, or what some would call New World cichlids. A younger, looks like a younger Severum there, and some gold Gourami. Beautiful, beautiful Gouramis. They were right in the middle of doing some maintenance. Looks like one fish back there is having a hard time. And so the tanks were getting cleaned up while I was there. I really love the look of this guy. These are really, really pretty. I love both these here and also the ones with the red in the dorsal. Very active, very pretty. I'd certainly have a tank of these, without question. Some albinos look like geos. Again, very pretty, very attractive, great markings. Here's a great gourami for a community tank. Maybe mix them in with some neons, a little honey gourami. Don't really get that large, maybe just a few inches, but you can see the color is very pretty. One of my favorite fish, as you know, of course, are the clown loaches. These were selling for about $8, which isn't bad for a loach this size. And certainly you want to pick them up in groups of 3 or more. Here's some of those reticulated hill stream loach or fish that people seem to like a lot. I think they look like spaceships, space saucers. Rasboras, love those rasboras. He had a couple of these flower horns in here. Really impressive colors. They haven't really appealed to me much. I imagine if I had one and interacted much with them, I'd probably get to really liking them. This one looks like he's pouting. Maybe because he wants a chance to beat up the other ones. These, I believe, are like a blue ram. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I think they had probably some blue lighting on the tank to accentuate some more angels. These are smaller angels, maybe a little bigger than a quarter. Has some of these six bar fronts or frontoses, very pretty. And the majority of the cichlids that they had in stock, I noticed were Mabuna. They also had some OBs and a few mixed sort of hybrid peacocks like your dragon bloods, and some Tropheus in there. I think I even saw something. There you go. There's a fish from Lake Victoria, I believe. Almost looks like a thick skin. If you want to start a Mabuna tank, this isn't a bad place to come. You can pick up 6 of these for $20. Throw them into a 60-gallon with some rock work. These are the tanks that were stuffed with peacocks and haps last time I was here. It's where I picked up that electric blue that I have. And those were pretty much empty, sitting underneath this massive tank of just a real mix of fish. Again, another, I don't know, maybe 300 or more. Nice selection of albino cats. And some cories. One thing that really impressed me this trip was the selection of guppies that he had in stock. I don't remember seeing these last time. And I know guppies are getting more and more popular, but the colors and markings on these guppies were pretty spectacular. Like before, the selection of plants was very, very impressive. As you can see, they take very good care of their plants. I saw some big CO2 tanks. You can be pretty sure they're dosing these tanks with CO2 on a pretty regular basis. They didn't have as much a collection as before, but no doubt with all of this COVID-19 pandemic stuff, they probably ordered less and are keeping probably less inventory only because of the reduced foot traffic. But you can still see the very nice examples. I wandered into the salt section, and of course, beautiful fish in that area. No doubt about it. I mean, I love my African cichlids, and I believe the color on them is spectacular, but you really can't beat the markings and color of saltwater fish. Just simply spectacular. Perhaps after I relocate to Nashville, maybe I'll take a shot at running a salt tank. There was a bank of tanks in the back of the store that had younger fish for those who want to start a small community tank, perhaps something planted with some nice rockscape, and you could pick up a handful of these smaller community fish like your tetras and your neons, and get a setup going with some very peaceful, smaller tropical fish. Quite a selection here, including some very small algae eaters. He also had the very common and very popular now, these ben.o sorority tanks. The blue on this ben.o was just beautiful. Obviously, this one was showing off. I was also impressed by some of the soft or living corals that he has. Again, I'm not a salty, but this stuff is really, really pretty. So I picked up a few items that I needed, but no fish this time. There was no fish in there that really excited me too much. I still highly recommend them. The inventory wasn't quite as complete as it was the last time I was here, but that might be just a sign of the times, with this COVID-19, everything going on. A lot of people probably not going out as much and shopping as much, and they probably just started being able to allow people back in the store. Without doubt, I would still recommend, if you're in the Covina area and you're looking for some fish products or fish, either salt or freshwater, community fish or cichlids, come check out CK. I'm sure they're getting new stuff in all the time, and certainly if you need plants, they still have, in my opinion, some of the best plant selection, some of the healthiest plant selection in the area. CK Fish World in Covina. Check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Friendly group of people, and a pretty wide selection of products.